In this video, we are going to be going over a mech designed for an era of the mass production of battle mechs, and one mimicking its primary competitor. This mech is Earthworks Incorporated's Stinger. A light mech weighing in at 20 tons, this battle mech is definitively the second most produced mech during the era of the Star League through to the Fourth Succession Wars, and was primarily built as a contract competitor to its most common stablemate, the Wasp. Estimates as of the end of the Third Succession War believe there may have been as many as 200,000 Stingers produced between 2479 and the year 2900. The number of currently operated Stingers in the Inner Sphere as of the end of the Third Succession War is believed to have only been around 5,000. This number would grow again in the Fourth Succession War all the way up to the latest Ill Clan era, fighting in every major battle and operation as this went on as well, at least from the side of Inner Sphere and Periphery forces. The Stinger has seen prolific usage over the centuries due to its high production numbers as well as its widespread availability across the Inner Sphere and Periphery, which has put it into positions which are not always favorable to it. Inexpensive, easy to transport, as well as easy to maintain and repair, the Stinger's capabilities are almost not important, its availability is. In terms of what's on display for its capabilities, the STRG-3R comes equipped with a GM 120 standard engine, which gives it a top speed of 95 km per hour, which results in 9 movement points in the tabletop game. This unit also comes with the ability to jump up to 180 meters, which gives it 6 movement points in the tabletop as well. It has a standard default heat-sinking capacity of 10. For its primary weapon systems, the STG-3R comes equipped with a single medium laser, as well as 2 Linbad mech-scaled machine guns. In terms of direct protection, the Stinger has a total of 3 tons of standard armor, safeguarding the machine. Tactically speaking, Stingers are only able to survive engagements with things larger than themselves by leaning into their speed and maneuverability. Originally designed as a recon mech, it would fill many roles, even ones which are ill-suited to its disposition, due to being plentiful enough to simply fill holes in the lineups as needed, likely explaining why out of the 200,000 Stingers built, only a mere 5,000 survived up to the year 3025. Though there are examples of units potentially being in service for more than 400 years in some cases, that is more a sign of how many crews and mech warriors of the Inner Sphere have known how to keep such machines alive by avoiding needless exposure to bad ideas, such as putting them into frontline combat service. In reality, the Stinger's firepower limits it to fighting other mechs in the same size category at best, as well as being effective against infantry formations due to its lighter weapon systems. During the Fourth Succession Wars, unlike the Wasp, the Stinger had fewer variations and modifications appear, especially at an official manufactured level. This would change with time as manufacturers after the Fourth Succession War would attempt to use technology to breathe new life into the venerable, easily produced design in order to help keep it up with the changing battlefield and adversaries, as well as an attempt to potentially broaden its role and usage on a tactical level. The STG-3G, the only primary alternative variant of the Stinger during the Succession Wars, would attempt to increase the fighting capability against other large targets such as mechs and heavier combat vehicles. It would achieve this through removing the 2 standard machine guns and replacing them with a single medium laser, doubling its effective weapons against those targets. It can increase heat issues if the jump jets are frequently used along with both medium lasers, but an experienced mech warrior will cycle their heat to get around this. Against other mechs, this variant is the most powerful option for the Stinger prior to the clan invasion. The STG-5M was the main upgrade which appeared in the Free Worlds League after the Helm Memory Core was discovered, adding endo steel to the frame to save weight, as well as carrying a half-ton of extra armor as a result. The mech would also change up its weapons array to remove its machine guns while swapping them for an anti-missile system and a flamethrower. Overall, this model was built to make the Stinger more survivable with new technology, though it did have to reduce its firepower as a result. The STG-7S appears to be the latest official model available, and it is only produced by House Steiner. It has an increased engine size, which is configured as an XL engine, giving it a maximum speed of over 120 km per hour, and is fitted with an increased jump capability, allowing it to pounce up to 240 meters in a single bound. Its primary drawback is its only weapon is a single ER medium laser. The Stinger's strength lay in mobility for the Succession Wars era, and eventually exploiting that in further eras with new technology. This is its main form of defense in totality due to its weight limit. It can also be seen as one of its weapons as well. For weaknesses, the Stinger is unfortunately the title holder of the consistently least capable damage dealer of the Inner Sphere 20-ton mechs. It struggles to harm most hardened targets, and often struggles to deal with lighter targets like infantry as well in models that tries to address this problem, for minimal changes in its ability to harm the harder adversaries. Worse yet, its protection is inadequate against most enemy weapons when they manage to tag it, which can rapidly result in a catastrophic situation for the mech and its pilot. Whereas, much like the WSP, its configurations largely do little for it beyond enhancing its original role or shifting it only slightly, meaning it's also not a versatile platform overall, even when retrofitted. The Stinger was born in the mines of Earthworks to compete with the Wasp, and it does do that as a strategic vehicle. It often comes across as a knockoff of the Wasp even. However, despite not being incapable in its weight class of 20 tons, it is the least capable of the models it immediately competes with, and was designed to compete with. It is redeemed by the fact that it is incredibly numerous and easy to maintain. Much like the WSP, in the right hands of a Mechwarrior and a commander, it can shift battles and campaigns where needed, but it equally can be crushed if placed in anything that even remotely doesn't favor it. But hey, if it gets crushed, you can always get another one. Thank you for joining me here today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. With that, I will catch you in the comments section below.